We're just talking about energy drainers. And sorry, that's our topic for this episode.
Hi guys, it's Kaylee.
And it's Emily.
And this is Picture Perfect. Hello you guys, happy Thursday.
Happy freaking Thursday. And you may know this, it's been a while since we have posted an episode, but we have our reasons. We had good reasons, but now we're back.
Yeah.
So
we're back. We're excited to be back. We didn't take 2 weeks off. We took 1 week off technically.
But we post every other week, so it ends up being like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like as you guys know, our posting schedule currently is every other week. And honestly, I don't even know if we ever really explained why that is, but it's just ever since we've done the video, I mean, it's a higher cost and just our lives are ramping up with our own things, work and things like that. So we've had to cut back a little bit, which is unfortunate, but yeah, so we do it every other week. And then I was out of town last week for a work trip, so we ended up skipping. We did try to be responsible and get one in on time, and it just wasn't in the cards.
We had the whole thing planned out. We were like, we're going to record on Sunday before you leave for your work trip. I'll come around. I think it was like a little bit earlier in the day. And then all of a sudden I get a text from Kaylee being like, we're not recording. No, like not at all. And I was like, normally, like when we cancel on each other, we're like, so
we always play a little game. Like, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah,
are you tired?
Are you tired?
Do I get food?
Yeah, normally it's me. I will say it's normally
it's me. We're on the same page though. I'm just like, yeah, I didn't want to either.
Okay, because normally I'm like, I just don't wanna.
We're in sync a lot of the times with that. I will say it's not normally like. There's been a few times, but probably where like I really want to and you don't, or like you want to and I don't. But like. For the most part, I think we're...
Okay, that makes me feel better because whenever I text you and I'm like, so I'm like really tired. Would you want to record another day this week? I always feel so bad. And you're like, yeah, sure. Like what time? So like that makes me feel better that I'm not like being the one that's like, I'm so tired. Let's do it later this week.
No, I'm tired too. It's like on the weekends, I'm fine. But then...
The weekdays.
The weekdays are hard.
Get me.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. But it's like I never really want to on a weekday. Like,
yeah. I mean, this is a weekday, but like, it's also been an issue to record this one. Yeah. But anyways, back to the originally why we didn't record the other week. It was because Kaylee and her cat had a whatchamacallit, a spat. That doesn't feel like a good word for it. A spat. A spat. But it was like not a fun one.
Yeah, essentially what happened was my friends came over, they brought their dog, and there wasn't a lot of thinking involved. Essentially, no one really thought it through, me especially, and I thought it would be a good idea to have my new kitten. If you guys didn't listen to the last episode, then you wouldn't know that I got a new kitten. And you wouldn't know that Emily got a new dog.
And he's very cute. He's getting so big.
He is a cutie. I thought it'd be a good idea to introduce my kitten and their dog. And the reason behind that is because essentially, like, we've talked about potentially living together. And I was like, might as well rip the Band-Aid off and have the two meet. Like, they're going to potentially be living together. And I was like, I'll hold her. And in my mind, I do this thing where I don't actually say what I'm thinking out loud. I just think I said it. And so, like, I think everyone knows the plan because in my mind, I have a plan, but I didn't actually communicate that plan to anybody. And in my head, I was like, okay, I told her to hold the dog. So that way the dog doesn't come, like, charging at me.
Yeah.
I'll hold the cat. She holds the dog. They see each other from a distance. They sniff. They get a sense for each other. And, like, we call it a day.
Yeah.
I didn't communicate any of that.
So she basically is holding the cat and then the dog is like, yay!
Yeah.
And so the cat freaks out. I say this like I was there, I was not there. This is like, I'm telling the story from secondhand. I mean, technically she told me, but so she sends me a picture on her, like I say on the phone, duh. But she sends me a picture and she's got scratches here and here and here, right here or something like that. Anyways, on your ear, your eye, like under your eye. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. We don't have to record. Like, you've had a traumatizing time.
Yeah.
We don't need to make it worse.
Yeah, it wasn't even like, oh, I'm traumatized. It was just like, I'm not going to get on a camera and look like this. Like, I couldn't put makeup on it. I had like gashes on my face. They're healed now and I'm wearing makeup, so like you probably can't really tell. But like, I still have like a bit of a
I do see it now, actually.
I have a little bit under my eye. And like, if I take my makeup off, you can see it on my chin too. Like, it's like a, I hope to God they don't scar. I'm going to be really pissed if they scar. I really hope they don't. But I had one in my ear and I just like, I was bleeding and I was like, okay,
we're not doing this.
As much as I want to and as much as I want to be consistent, because it bothers me when like we go off the
like the schedule.
Yeah, it bothers me, but I'm just like, no, I don't want this on the internet. I don't want this on the internet. So I hope you guys can forgive me for that and you can understand. But we're back at it. We're somewhat healed and yeah. I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that again.
We're back at it. We're somewhat healed. Physically, emotionally. I feel like
not so much.
But yeah, so that is why we were not able to get that episode out. And then this episode, we planned to record yesterday and we did it. We had everything set up, but it was just one of those days where like nothing was clicking. Not that like we weren't vibing. It was like, we vibe.
And you know what I think it is? Well, okay. So this is what I came to the conclusion of last night. Because I was like, why the fuck am I being so weird? Like, we had this plan to meet and record. And essentially we didn't because of me. I was just being a weirdo. And like
I was like, oh my gosh, talking to you, blah, blah, blah. And Kaylee would be like,
I was brain dead. Like anything I said sounded weird. Like I was judging myself. Like I was being my own like mean girl. Like the camera was cameraing. Like it just felt like it was like more prevalent than ever before. And it wasn't just like a conversation between, it felt fake. It felt forced. Like I was being a weirdo and I was like, okay, I can't do this. And yesterday I was like, why the fuck was I being like that? Like that's so weird. Like normally I'm pretty good. Like I'm not like, well, no, that's a lie. I want to start over all the time, but I'm a control freak if you can't tell. But no, I was just like, why? And then I was like, we did get into some deep shit before. So maybe like my mind was just like, I can't talk about energy takers and givers after that. But then we also got into
I was gonna say, wait, we just did that today.
And I feel fine today, so it's not that.
Maybe you're just hangry.
I think I was. Like I was starving. I ordered food right after. And I felt much better.
I was gonna say, I think you were just hangry because I mean, to be fair, whenever I come over, me and Kaylee, more me. But I'm always like, so let me just dump all of my emotional shit on you.
I didn't mean to say like
no, I'm saying I do that. I'll be coming over. Like, I literally walked in today. I feel like I'm on FaceTime. Like, I'm talking. I was gonna say, I'm literally talking to someone, and I'm like, let me tell you. But I literally walked into her apartment, and I'm like, let me tell you some shit that happened today. And she's like, okay. And I just am like, blah, 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 blah. And this is like heavy shit. This is not like, oh my God.
I'm like,
someone stepped on my toe.
Wow.
It was the first thing I thought of, okay? Anyways, I was thinking like somebody like, or not anything like, oh my gosh, like just tea or gossip or anything like that. It was just emotionally like unloading. And so when you say that, I'm like, I didn't just say all of that earlier. And we're just talking about like energy drainers. And sorry, that's our topic for this episode. But energy drainers and like energy. What's the other thing? Givers. Okay. Yeah. Not the sirens.
Brief intermission. But yeah. So with all that said, it's been a minute since we've recorded. It's been a minute since I would say since we've like hung out and actually talked, which before yesterday was.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did say yesterday. But anyways, I feel like we should do a bit of a recap, short and sweet. Or is that, do you want to do that?
I have nothing to recap.
Yeah, that's why
my life is boring as all hell.
That's why I asked because I wasn't sure.
I was like, working out. Well, Kaylee and I decided to sign up for a few workout classes. Not that you guys care, but
that's the question I was going to ask you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to ask you how your New Year goals are going.
Don't ask me. I'm not ready for that.
How's the New Year going? Because the last episode we did was our New Year's goals. No, ins and outs.
Ins and outs, I think. I don't know. It was like the very first episode we did. That was like our New Year's goals.
Something about the New Year. And we haven't given
it is not going well.
Yeah. I honestly feel that too, so it's okay.
You're yelling at me.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, I think it's just I've been preoccupied. I know. I'm sorry. It's going.
No, this is the ASMR that you've been wanting all along.
This is the ASMR.
Ew, shut up.
I've been wanting to do ASMR for so fucking long. And Kaylee's like, absolutely not. But I get it. Whatever. I don't get it. Anywho, this is like what happened last year. And it's like I get so bogged down with life itself and like just, the shit that I'm going through. And like I just feel like I don't have the energy to focus on anything else. And that's where like this year I'm like, I don't want that for myself. I want to be able to like grow as a person and actually like not even like achieve, just do something towards my goals. And because I didn't basically last year. And to be fair, I had like 2 deaths in the family and that was a whole big thing too. But so far, January hasn't been off to a great start. But I did see like this little thingy on Instagram that someone posted and was like, if you've had a bad January so far or a bad year so far, like put it in perspective. And it showed like a little like line. Yeah, a little line. I think I reposted
like how much
it.
Progress you have.
Yeah, like how much you had left. And it's like this little itty bitty spot like we've like gone through so far in the year. That's to be fair, it's going by fast. But
so fast.
It made me calm down a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, like this is not how I want to start off the year, like blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so we'll get there. We'll get there. I just need to like be in a place that I'm like emotionally like not so drained.
Which is
We're
perfect for this episode.
That is very true. Wow.
Well, okay, well, to give you guys some background, the whole reason that we're doing this episode is because I feel like you and I both feel drained currently. Yes. I feel like our energy has been drained for a while. And with the start of the new year, I want to work on that. I want to feel recharged, revitalized, ready to take on the year.
Revitalized.
And ready to work on our goals. Because similar to you, I mean, I can't sit here and say it's been an awful start to the year because, I mean, nothing has happened. It's fine, but like, it's just more of the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
That's what I've been saying. Like from last year to this year, I mean, I had also had an awful start, but it's the same as last year.
Right. It's like, every time I really want to hit the ground running and like, you want to do all the things. I mean, it's just the New Year mentality. Like, you want to get back into the gym immediately. You want to start eating healthy. You want to fix all the things that you aren't so happy about in your life or with yourself. And when you don't, you see it as, all right, well, I'm not starting this off well. I'm not doing a good job. Like, we inherently see it that way. That's not true. I mean, it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad start to the year. You still, like you said, have so much time to work on these things. And also the rest of your life, too. It's not just like a year thing. But yeah, I mean, like, I've been going through the motions of just like that mentality being like, I haven't been to the gym once. Like, what am I doing?
That's literally me. And to be fair, but hey, we're making baby steps. Kaylee and I planned a couple of workout classes with a thing called ClassPass. Just to try new things. We're doing Pilates and yoga. And so we even like made plans this weekend. Like she's going to sleep over and we're going to go do Pilates. And then we're going to go to a coffee shop and we're going to have our little business podcast meeting and we're going to do all the things. And that makes me excited. Like that's so wholesome to me. And
I look forward to things like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if you said this to me like 3 years ago when I was in college, I would have been like, no, absolutely. No. Like, you'd find me at the bar. Like, I shit you not. I'd be like, absolutely not. Yeah, Sunday morning, I'd be like, dead to the world. I got my ginger ale and Cheez-Its. You guys are going to be like, what the heck? But that, I swear to God, that's my hangover cure. Ginger ale and Cheez-Its. And yakking.
Try it.
Just saying. Anyways, we're totally off topic, but.
We're old now.
I know. 23 is so old.
Are you 23?
Yeah. Wait. How old am I? Yeah, I'll be 24 in March. I had to think about that.
I always forget that you're, like, younger than me.
Yeah. But I look older than you.
Yeah, you do. That's confusing for the listeners. But I just had a birthday. I'm a Capricorn baby, and I just turned 25. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, I actually, like, I know that obviously, but, like, in my mind, I was like, you're 24.
Yeah, I'll be 24 in March, so, like, 2 months. Mm-hmm. Less than 2 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a Pisces. If that explains anything. Always emotional.
Does that mean you'll be 24 still when I'm 26? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like that brief period where it like looks like you're 2 years older than me.
Oh my God.
It's like 2 months that you'll look 2 years older than me. Like you'll say I'm 26 and I'm still 23. Like
Well, we're in the same place because we both want business meetings on a Sunday morning and early morning workouts.
that's why we get along. We're old souls.
for all.
I'm like, I want Pilates. I want Sunday coffee. I want to snuggle my dog and I want to read. And that is it.
Honestly, though, I feel like that's
It's
everyone's
peaceful.
mindset. It is, but I also feel like, I don't know, like, tell me if you feel the same. I don't know if I'm going to articulate this well, but I feel like when I look at, like, my dad, for example, like, his generation, like, they were going out until they were, like, well into their 20s, you know what I mean? And, like, this generation is so, like, obviously there's the people that want to go out, but, like,
Mhm.
it's almost trendy to not want to. Like, it's like, trendy to, like, want to be, like, old.
Do you want to know my opinion on that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I'm just telling you.
sorry. I just was
Yes,
asking.
of course I do.
Just asking.
No, shut up. I just want to speak. It's mine.
See, well, here, to be fair, my parents are not like big drinkers. They weren't like going out and partying. Like,
Well, that's two different generations.
yeah. But the thing is,
my
like,
family versus.
yeah, what I'm saying is like my family, like my parents are older, and then it'd be like your parents, and then like us
Mhm.
is what I'm putting down. So like for them, like they're not big drinkers, like they didn't really go out, blah blah. But then your dad and you're like is like party. You know, sorry, not like. That makes it. He's gonna like if he ever watches that, he's gonna be like, oh my god.
He told me he would never watch. So
I'm sorry.
In a good way. He was like, "That's so cool you're doing that. I'll never watch it. I'll respect your privacy." I was like, "Shame you."
Thank gosh. But then for us, I feel like too, I think it's a little bit of social media. I feel like we have like access to so much, and so like we'll see people partying and stuff like that. I feel like we started a lot younger. At least like some of my friends. Okay, maybe I'm speaking for myself because I didn't like drink until college.
I didn't either.
But I feel like there were so many people around me that like were doing it, and like to be fair, this also could be any generation. But I just feel like we have so much access to shit like now, like with social media, like people just started doing a lot more. I feel like, and you see those videos where it's like when I was 18, 19, 20 or whatever, I was going so hard that like I'm 23 now and like I just feel like I'm 60 years old.
Mm.
You know, I feel like we do it earlier and then get out of it earlier.
That makes sense. I don't know. I feel like when I look at my dad, like in high school, like he probably, I don't know. I mean, like to me, like I was raised by grandparents, so it makes sense why I'm the way I am. But I also just like, but I also like, I just feel like that's the trend now. Like I feel like it's like the aesthetic to be like
clean girl aesthetic. Like you gotta get your life together.
It's more important than I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously not everyone pushes that, but
Well, then the new trend now is like mob wife.
what is that?
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's literally everywhere on TikTok. It's like now people are doing like mob wife things. Like
What does that mean?
I think it's up north where it's like tell me like
What?
what's
Like a
south? I don't know, south side like
New York accent?
no, I don't know.
Chicago?
Like it reminds me of, like the Italians. I don't know. I don't want to like general. Like where they're dressing in like the big fur coats and they're like they're drinking a glass of wine in the morning and they're smoking cigarettes.
Really, what?
Okay, I'm gonna.
I need to know. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Why
show
is
it to
mob?
you because like that's a mob. Like it's a mob wife. Literally, here's a video.
It's comprised of entirely black garments. If you can add some leather in there, even better. If you look like you're going to a funeral, you know you're doing it right. Next, you want to dig out your mom's old fur jacket from the 80s. Nothing screams golden era of the mob like a jacket that lived in the golden era of the mob. Next, you need to overly accessorize.
And this is kind of dramatized. Is that a word?
Were given to you as an anniversary or present.
That's like being a little bit dramatic.
You stay saying a word. And you're like, is that a word? I'm like, I don't know.
Bonus points if you're wearing hoops. Then you need to add a pair of sunglasses that look like you've had them since 2003 because you probably have.
I've
And you'll
literally
need to add a
never-
designer bag, preferably
This is
with
literally
glasses.
everywhere.
Activate the mop.
Like Michaela, like the makeup artist Michaela,
Yeah.
like literally did like a makeup look
I'm gonna
for
show you
it.
how to dress
Really?
in a mob wife.
Yeah.
You'll need to start with the
It just
outfit.
gives like, I it just gives like,
It's not clean girl aesthetics. It's like
it's not clean girl
you wake up,
aesthetic.
you roll out of bed, like you do your makeup.
It's not Hailey Bieber.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like the 2016 makeup, like big hair, big fur coats. Like you're walking with like cheetah print and like a glass of wine. Like it's like that aesthetic. So that's why I'm like, you say like it's in right now to like get your life together and blah blah blah, and then like now it's like flipping. Where it's like you don't give a shit. Like
Listen,
you
I don't know. I mean, this is definitely like,
I will say though, Mob Wife brings a sort of like confidence where you like they're like I wish
yeah, that's what it gives. It gives like confidence.
it gives confidence like you're not messing with me, like
Maybe we
F
should
off.
channel that. That's so. Can you imagine me?
I need to
Can
channel
you
that.
imagine me doing that?
No.
I can see that for you, honestly,
I could see it for me
but
too.
not for me.
I could see it for me. I hope I see it for me, honestly. I need this confidence in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
I
yeah,
love
so
that
that's
for
what's
you.
like in right now.
Okay. Well,
I can't believe I just put you on a trend.
Yeah, I mean, well, you
You're the one that's
didn't
always
put me on the trend because I'm not going to do the trend.
well, I mean like educated you on it.
Yeah.
You're the one that's always like this
well,
is
I'm
in right
25.
now.
I can't keep up with that. I'm too good for that.
You're too old. You aged
I'm
out.
too old.
Anyway,
My youngins have to keep me in the know.
I keep you young.
You keep me young.
To be fair, I think you keep me young because you're like, I'm gonna go do some skincare and like massages and
Oh
stuff
my
like
God,
that. And
You
I'm like,
don't do it though.
I want to.
You just listen to me talk about it.
I know, but you keep me young by doing that. Your skin looks healthy, so I just assume mine's healthy.
When do people normally get like gray hairs?
At 23,
Really?
I don't know.
Do you have any?
No,
Okay.
but I probably will.
You know what? Like I dye my hair so much that I'm like, would I even know?
I mean, your hair is lighter. I think.
What are you trying to say?
No, I mean like your hair is blonde. Like it's gonna be really hard to find a gray hair and blonde hair, especially with how white yours is.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was immediately defensive about that. I was like, what do you mean? It already looks gray.
Like it would be easy to find a gray hair in my hair. That shit would stand out. But with your hair, like it would blend in.
And you haven't found any on you?
No,
Like, I wonder if I have any.
I will pick your head after this. Like, I'll see if we can find anything. We'll let you know. Anyways, we're so off topic. But did you want to do any recap for you? Or, I mean, you were on a work trip for 2 weeks, but long intro.
Only thing I was going to say is, have you seen the Mean Girls movie?
I have not. Is it worth it?
You know, I don't want to get hate for this. I don't think it is.
Well, to be fair, I said that about Barbie.
And that I want you to be canceled for.
But I changed it because I think when I was thinking about it, the reason why I didn't like Barbie at first was because I was thinking it was like some animated movie, like some like goofy, uplifting movie. And that's what I was trying to explain in the other episode. It was like I came in with like an idea of what it was going to be. So when it was, So it's like when I watched it, I was like, this is nothing like I expected. And then to be fair, it always takes me watching things like twice, like 3 times to actually get the meaning of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched it like, I think it was like several days later, like a week or 2 later. And I was seeing all like the meaning behind things. And I was like, this is a freaking great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is such a good message of a movie. Cause like, I didn't get some things at first. I'm like, why they make Ken look stupid. Like the patriarchy. And I'm like, that's so obvious. But then like, anyways, he does like little things where it's like you see that like that just transfers to like everyday life. Like anyway, so I just thought it was like a really, really good movie. But it was after like I sat and was like, all right, I'm gonna digest this. I'm gonna like when you read books and you annotate, I was kind of doing that with like the movie. Not actually annotating, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I did go into Mean Girls with expectations. I love Renee Rapp. I love her.
I love her too.
Love her.
Queen.
I liked her from Sex Lives of College Girls and her music.
Freaking love that show.
And I hate you for not going to her concert with me, and I hold that against you.
I will say, I love her to death. I do like some of her songs, but like some of them don't hit for me.
Don't say that.
I feel like I always am the one that's like, I'm going to be out of the 2 of us, I'm going to be the one that gets canceled.
I think it's because you don't bring up things that you like love. And I like bring up like artists that I love or something. Like I'm like, I love Taylor Swift. I love Renee Rapp.
But to be fair, I told you this before, like with actors and like
you just don't have
musicians,
that.
I don't ever get the oh my God, I love this person.
Yeah. But I swear to God, if you did, like, if you had that with someone, like, I wouldn't feel the same, probably.
See, like, the only person I think of that I would be like, oh my God, I love is Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I mean,
But, like, even then, I'm not, like, obsessive over him. Like, I'm not, like,
he was like, you thought.
yeah, fine. If he ever watched this, I would die.
Yeah, he's not.
Die. Yeah, I
He's
know.
for sure not.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get hate for it. I just went in with expectations. I don't know how, like, universally, like, there was a group of us that understood that it was a musical and a group of us that don't understand that it was a musical. And, like, I just wasn't sure if it was a musical. Like, I saw the commercial. The
Mhm.
commercial? The commercial!
I was like, I don't know where this is going, but okay.
The trailer. And, like, they sing that one, like, I'm Regina George, like, that line. And from that, I was like, is it a musical? And I just didn't do further digging because I didn't really want to know.
Yeah.
And I go into it and, like, it is. It's obviously, it's like the Broadway play, just, like, in movie form.
I don't know if I'd like that.
And I've never seen the Broadway play, so, like, maybe I just don't have the appreciation. I don't know. It didn't hit in the way I thought it would. But, like, Renee Rapp, amazing singer. I love her to death. Like, she killed it. I love Chris Briney from The Summer I Turned Pretty. He's in it.
I like him too.
He's a cutie. It was funny. Like, I was laughing and, like, whatever, but, like, it wasn't totally what I expected, and the songs didn't really hit for me. I don't know. And, like, I don't know. But it's, like, it's a movie that I would, like, suggest you watch, but, like, maybe wait so you're not, like, paying for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I
Okay.
would say.
I'd be down.
But I feel like I would have just rather seen the play.
Yeah.
Than watched that.
I'm not a huge fan of, like, musical movies.
I'm normally not either.
I'm about to get canceled for this too. I never sat through and watched La La Land. Okay, thank God.
I want to, though, because it won so many awards. Like, everyone says it's good.
I know.
I didn't watch it.
I know. And I tried to start it. I really tried to start it. I watched, like, the first, like, 30 minutes, and I don't know why, but I just could not focus on it. I could not get into it. But, like, I recognize that, like, people are like, it's so good, best movie ever, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I've seen TikToks on it, and, like, I know how it ends. But so I'm like, it's sad. Like, it's sad.
I know nothing about it.
Not sad, but, like, it's, like, a bittersweet kind of ending, like, or piece of it. And I'm like, I don't like sad movies whatsoever. I will avoid them, like, with all costs. I think it's just because, like, I'm sad most of the time, and I'm like, I don't need to be more sad. Like, I can do that on my own.
Sad most of the time. Oh.
Oh. Anyways.
Okay, but do you not like it because it's a sad movie? You don't like it because of singing?
I didn't really get that far into it. I just think it was, like, it would maybe the singing.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it caught me.
Yeah, I don't think that I gravitate towards, like,
musical movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
But, I mean, like, yeah, I just think it depends. I don't know. But I do think we should watch La La Land. I do want to try it.
Let's try it. Saturday night.
Let's try
We'll
it.
attempt. We'll let you know how it goes. But in our next episode.
Yes.
So stay tuned just for that. Anyways, all right. Now.
I'm done with my recap.
Okay. Okay. Like 30 minutes in.
Sorry, I had to give my pointless updates that no one cares about.
It's okay. I care. That's all that matters.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into the episode. Like Emily pointed out in the beginning of this episode, we're going to be doing energy givers and energy takers. And we're just going to spew off the list. Honestly, this is a list that Emily and I compiled. Things that give us energy, things to take away our energy. We tried to obviously include the basic ones, but also, you know, some that might not be so obvious. So hopefully you take some insight from this episode, but honestly, we just thought it was like a fun little self-care episode for you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need the inspo, because we all know there's certain things that help us. Like, I'll just go right into it, but, well, should we start with energy takers so that way we're ending on a positive note?
I think so.
Okay, then I won't get into it.
We'll get into the negatives.
Yeah, we'll get into the negatives. But starting with that, the number one thing that we said was overworking. This is something that's very easy for us to do because we work from home, and I don't need to over-explain it because you guys understand what that means. But it can be anything. It can be from your job. It can be from, like, a passion project. But, like, it's just overworking and
overstressing, overstimulating, like, all of the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's like your body's like an animal. Like you need rest. You need to like rest your brain, rest your body, like recuperate. And like you can't keep pushing yourself to, like I said, overwork or do all the things, because you're not a machine. Like you have to take a break. And if you keep pushing yourself, and you're going to like end up just either exploding or just being so exhausted, like you can't function, like something's going to happen and it's not going to be good.
And it's so easy too when you do work from home, or if you like work for yourself or whatever it is, because you lay those boundaries yourself. And I'm really bad at this. And so
I'm horrible at it too.
Yeah, this is something that I have gotten into the habit of doing. Like, I will work late. I will be at my computer still like at 10 o'clock at night. And it's because I don't lay boundaries with myself. I like to get things done. Everyone likes to see a check mark done, you know, like we live for that.
Mhm.
And so it's hard for me to pull myself away and be like, okay, I need to rest. I need to do things for myself other than just my job or these projects I'm working on. Like I can't overwork myself. I need to sleep. So that's the number one thing, because not only is it just draining in the day, if that's all you're doing, one, you're likely just sitting there. And that's something that has made me just feel like I have less energy. Just, it's just the sitting. It's the constant sitting. You're not moving enough. And I've talked about this before. You're not going outside most likely. And sunlight is super important for getting that energy back. And we'll touch on that when we do energy givers. But there's a lot that comes with that, because you're like glued to the project. So you're glued to your computer or a screen or whatever you're doing. You're glued to your desk, and you're neglecting other self-care pieces. It's not just the stress that comes with overworking. It's also the things you're missing out on, like sunlight or rest or, movement, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I was about to say, I mean, that literally kind of bleeds into screen time, like being on your computer all the time, especially for us, like we work virtual. So I'm on my computer from 8 to 5. And then after that, like if you're working over, then it's more.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's not good for your eyeballs, like literally physically. That's why they have like blue light glasses.
Literally physically, it's not good for your eyes.
Not good for your I sounded such like valley girl. Literally and like physically, it's not good for your eyeballs. Take my advice.
We're like giving advice. We're just like literally, physically.
Okay, anyways.
This is like friends in a room. It's not like actual advice.
This is like a FaceTime, so.
This would be this would be a boring FaceTime.
A boring FaceTime?
Yeah, let's talk about our energy givers and takers.
Okay, yes, I get that. Like, it's not something we would do on FaceTime, but I feel like how like we're interacting is I feel like we're on FaceTime. Anyways, but that does lead into like screen time. And then of course, like when you're off your computer and you want to talk to your friends or social media, like you're then now moving just to a different screen. And I think that's why, at least for me, I'm a big believer in like reading actual books. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, that's not always like, I can't always do that.
Are you saying you're hating on Kindles?
I'm not. I think they're like, I have a
strong Kindle community that will come after you.
Well, here's the thing. I used to have a Nook, and then my sister got a Kindle and then she gave it to me, and I love it. I do. But the only issue is like, sometimes I want to get away from technology. And even though like a Kindle is like, doesn't have like social media on it, it still feels like I'm on technology. So like for me, like, I just feel like when I'm reading a book, like a physical book, I'm shutting out the outside world. Like I'm just getting away from like the physicality of like technology. So that's why, like, I mean, I love Kindles and Nooks, and like you can get books for like super cheap. And by the time like I go through books, like that's something that I need, because I can't be spending like $25-$30, like 45, whatever it is on books, because I go through them like in a week. Mm-hmm. So I think there's some pros and cons. But anyways.
It's your library.
Sometimes they don't be getting the new books that I want. Anyways, I mean, I read through like all the, is it Okatar? Okatar? I don't know how to pronounce it. Series. ACOTAR? Is that what it is?
Oh my god.
What?
You're gonna get canceled again.
ACOTAR. Sorry. I know. I know the abbreviation. I never just said it out loud. Like in my head, I just realized.
I don't even read and I know that.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm rereading those.
I even know what it stands for.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a fan, but I just didn't. Okay, anyways, long story short. So another one of mine, I just like slapped my chest, but another one of mine is like social media. So like, especially if you're going from, working all day and like being on your phone, like social media can be sometimes like something you do just to scroll, like when you're like mentally shut off. But I think for me as of lately, like social media is just draining. It's like I always compare myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person just got married or engaged.
It is the comparison.
Yeah. It's like that's the part of it. And like I'll go on like TikTok, and when I'm sad, I be liking the sad shit. And then the For You page is like, let me just make all of it sad. And so I would be like in probably maybe a decent mood, but then I see these TikToks and they're sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes me sad. And then I end up, I'm like, so like indirectly, it's like draining my energy.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the comparison of it all with social media. And it sucks too, because it's like some of the things that actually uplift me and bring me energy are
also the ones that can take it away.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's for different reasons though. It's like, I love being creative and expressing myself. That is my number one way to like let energy, like not let energy out, but to let like my stress out. And then that uplifts me. Because I feel inspired. I feel like I was able to express myself in whatever ways, get the emotions out. I feel like more like fresh after I do things like that. But it's also like every creative thing that I like to do normally consists of like being on technology or like, I mean, I like writing and I could physically write in a notebook, but it's like easier for me to just type it. So it's like I gravitate towards that. And you're still like on the screen. You're still like, and that sucks because it's like I work all day and I'm on technology, and then to decompress, I want to do these creative things, but then I'm just still on technology and I'm still just sitting. Anyways, this is really just me complaining, but
I mean, that's like when I do art, like I want an iPad to do the art on, but like there's just something physical about getting I don't know if you probably relate to this, but like getting a paintbrush and like painting on a piece of canvas or like on a piece of paper. There is just like something so nice about it being physical.
Yeah.
And I think that like if we weren't so technologically focused and like we weren't working from home all the time, like on our computers, I think it would be a great outlet to have, like to be on your phones or like on your iPads. But the thing is we're just so like we're on them all the time now, all the time.
Yeah. And the thing with social media too is like I find inspiration from it. You know, like I do look at people's pages and their content for inspiration. Like I've curated my feed to be like things I want to see. Like I want to see morning routines. I want to see day in my life. So I want to see what I'm eating in a day. Like I want to see these things because they give me inspiration as to like what I want for my own life and what I can be working on and what I can do, what I can eat, what I can do for a workout. Like, but I mean, yeah, it's the comparison that comes into play when you're like, oh, I'm not doing that though. But the intentions are there. It's meant to be. Or like Pinterest, I love Pinterest for like getting motivation and feeling inspired. Like I love to make boards like with my goals and things, and I don't know. But
I mean, I agree.
Anyways, I feel like we're getting off topic and going into some of the energy givers. But one thing that goes with all the things that we're talking about is another thing that can take away your energy is unclear boundaries or people pleasing. This is something that I do all the time. Mainly people pleasing.
If they could give a medal for that, I think you and I would go like we would be tied for it.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I think I would speak for myself, and I think I would win.
I think you would win.
I think you'd be like maybe fourth.
What? Rude. No, I definitely.
What, do you want to be higher?
No.
This is something you don't want to win.
I definitely think you would win. But yeah, I mean, it's easy. Like you want to be there for the people in your life, and sometimes you just go a little bit too hard with it, and I don't know. I'm better at it. Like suddenly, I've just kind of noticed this change in me a little bit. With like, I used to be this person that was always just like, I won't say anything, and I'll just be like, and I was just like the nice one, and like now I feel like I've kind of got like a backbone to me a little bit.
Good.
I don't know if you've seen that, but like
I think so.
I think I've changed a little bit, and I don't know where it came from. Genuinely,
I think it's just like little things over time. See, I'm the opposite. I think that there's just been so much happening that like I have lost that a little bit, and like I'm trying to get that back.
Yeah. Yeah. And genuinely though, like it's something that like I don't know how you work on. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't have advice for that because I don't like a flip just switched with me. Like and I still do it from time to time, but I'm better and I don't know where that came from.
See, I think at least this is off topic, but I think it's like little things. It's like the little things, like it could be something so small, like saying no, like, hey, like I'm really busy, like I can't grab a cup of coffee or something. Like
Yeah, but you
it's
say that, but that's also like the essence of a people pleaser. Like you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's just an example.
No, but like
I mean, that's just an
That's what it
example.
is.
But I think slowly it's like you may want to say no, and then basically you're like you're over explaining to me or something. You don't want to hang out, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
like I don't want to go, like blah blah. And I'm like, it's okay.
yeah.
Like, and it's just like little things like that where like you see that it's okay to do that. Granted, we need a whole episode on this in itself, but I think it's just like little things that like lead to bigger things. And if I say like one more time, I'm gonna mute myself.
I didn't notice, but now I'm gonna notice.
Yeah, I've been noticing it as I'm saying it, and I'm like, if I say it one more time, I'm gonna mute myself. But anyways,
we're not in like the swing of things. Like I just said like, but we stopped recording, and so now we have to get back into the swing of things.
Right. But anyways, back on topic, and this kind of goes with what we've been talking about, like with electronics and setting boundaries. I think this is one of the basic and one of the ones that also is very hard is just getting enough sleep. If you're not sleeping, and even if you are, and it's like a very restless sleep and you're tossing and you're turning and you're waking up, like you're not actually resting, and your brain is literally an organ, and you have to physically rest and give yourself a break.
Love the literally.
I know. I thought about that when I said
literally,
it.
Physically, literally.
I thought it, and you just said it. Anyways,
it's like I know what you're saying. It's just we make ourselves sound.
If I say like or literally one more time.
Literally, physically.
Stop yelling at me. Anyways,
so funny.
I'm just gonna move on from that. That's pretty simple. Just
no, I mean it's
sleep.
true.
Sleep.
I think we can all agree that the basics are like you need to be nourishing your body with good food. You need to be hydrating. You need to be exercising. You need fresh air. You need to get outside. Movement goes along with that. Sleep. Like those are the basics.
Like if exercise, like all big things.
Yeah, I mean those are the things that it's like if you're not doing those consistently, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel drained. You're gonna feel fatigued. Like all those things, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like I feel like I can work on the other things because maybe they're more attainable in the moment because it's like less of an instant gratification thing. Well, more of an instant gratification thing. The other ones like you need to do consistently and they take time to actually feel the effects. So that's where I'm at. I'm struggling with the basics and the foundations and
like being consistent. Like I said, like being. I know.
Sorry.
Being consistent with exercising and sleeping and eating healthy, it's a lot. And if you're not doing it consistently, you'll have, you'll go up and down, peaks and valleys, things like that. But it's hard and it's not an instant gratification because you're not going to see your health change overnight. You're just not. It's a time thing. So you do what you can to get that instant gratification. So if it's doing something super easy, like going to get ice cream, it can help lift your mood. But if you're doing that constantly, because it's that instant gratification, I do this. I am saying I'm preaching to the choir. But what was the last time you got ice cream with me? Forever. I just love ice cream. But anyways, I'm defending us right now. Okay. Anyways, but if you're doing it consistently, eventually, like I said, but eventually,
consistently,
I'm gonna lose it. Anyways,
I'll take the mic.
Thank you. Mute. Where's the mute button?
One of mine that I had for energy drainers is putting things off that you don't want to do in the moment. The reason that I put this is I feel like it sounds a bit backwards because when you put something off that you don't want to do, it sounds like it would be for the better, you're not making yourself do something you don't want to do and, in turn you're doing something you want to do. But the reason I say this is because I feel like when you put something off, when you procrastinate, you're holding space in your mind for that, whatever it is, versus just getting it over with. And subconsciously, you're going to worry about it. You're going to think about it. It's going to be sitting there. Like a great example of this is the pile of laundry that I have on my bed currently.
That's literally me.
Yeah.
I have so much laundry.
It's such a small little thing, but it's like it's sitting there. I know it's sitting there and I didn't feel like putting it away, so I didn't put it away. But I'm just putting it off and it's still in the back of my mind because I still need to do it. I still need to get it done. And so
that's literally me right now with my pile of laundry at home.
I feel like when these things add up, like little by little, all we're really doing is just holding more space to feel stress about it, to worry about it, to think about it. And it might not be conscious, you might not actually care. But it kind of goes into the instant gratification piece, because I feel like when you're procrastinating things, it's easier to not do it. Like you're going after the thing, like I want to lay in bed over actually doing my chores or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like that drains my energy more, because like, if for that example specifically, it's like it's in the back of my head. I know I need to do it. Even if I'm not like stressed about it, I'm still thinking about it to some capacity. And it's also like my space is then disrupted. Like it's cluttered. It's not clean. Like there's just things about it that still are like energy sucker. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And it's like you get stuck in a cycle where you don't want to do it. And then you end up being like worrying about it and stressing about it and blah, blah, blah. And then you actually do it and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then you have to fold the clothes and put them away. And then afterwards you're exhausted. But I feel like, at least for me, I feel so much more clean in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like I just like took a Q-tip and I was like, ee,
Or even if I like put it off, it's like, then I'm going to maybe do it like later when I don't feel like it, but I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like, don't procrastinate. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
The other energy drainer that I had was cramming too much in. I am someone that feels like I have my life together when I have a plan, and I like to have goals. I like to have plans during the week. I like to set intentions for myself. Those things make me feel like I have it together. But at the same time, sometimes I find myself craving these schedules and these routines just to feel like I have it together, but really it's just bringing me stress trying to figure that out and trying to plan it all. Like sometimes I feel like in life you just
have to just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like I'm trying to say you have to just go with the flow. It's more so like you don't have to plan everything out to a T. Like you don't need to stack your schedule for the entire week. Like, because if I sit and I look at a schedule and you tell me I have something planned for every day after work, like if you tell me that on Sunday night before the week starts, I'm going to feel so put together. I'm going to feel like I'm being productive. I'm seeing friends. I'm working on myself. I'm doing these things that I want to do to work on my goals. But then you get to it and it's like, I am fucking tired. Like, I don't want to do this. And I mean, that's just being stacked in terms of like cramming things in and being too busy. I've learned that I do like time to just do nothing. And I used to not. There was a time that I didn't, but now I do get energy from just like doing nothing and not being around people. And maybe I'm an introvert for that. But yeah, I just think cramming your schedule, it drains your energy, but also just like the planning of it all. Like the trying to make everything perfect and trying to make it look good. Like,
and if you don't stick to it or you don't end up doing something that you planned, you're going to feel worse because you didn't do what you had planned.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how that formulates for me. Because I feel like when I set a schedule, I'm like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Then I get to it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then I'm like, okay, I cancel. And then I feel bad that I canceled. I'm like, I could have gone.
Yeah.
And of course you could have gone. But that's why whenever we're talking about like working out, I'm like, when I went into it, I'm like, I should do workout every day after work. But that's not sustainable. I mean, sometimes for some people, but not for me. It's not going to be sustainable.
Not right now,
and then I'm going to feel bad that I didn't go to the gym or I didn't do this. And so, I mean, you're like, let's start with 3 classes or 2 classes the first week and then just be consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and that kind of goes into the last 2 drainers that I have, which is being on all the time and actually like unhealthy relationships and like holding on to the past, which is a whole big thing in itself. And we could do a whole episode on that. But just being on all the time means what Kayla said earlier, was just being worrying, stressing, panicking. Like you're not giving your nervous system a break. You're not resting. You're not in a place where you're just at peace. I'm not saying you have to be happy or you have to be sad, just baseline.
I feel like that specifically comes from who you surround yourself with too.
Yes. And that's why I was like, it kind of goes in with like the unhealthy relationships and the company you keep, because and I have experienced this, even if every other aspect of your life is going good, work, friends, all of it, if you're in a bad relationship, your nervous system is going to be on all the time. You're going to be worrying about like what you're saying, what you're doing, what they're doing. And it bleeds into everything else.
And that can go for anything. It doesn't have to be a relationship. I feel like anyone at their job can feel like they're being on. Like we're not being authentically ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we're playing.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel.
We're playing a role essentially. Like we're being the employee they want us to be. We're speaking in our corporate language. Like I'm not being me. I mean, I'm being me to that capacity, but I'm not being like me right now in this podcast.
I agree. I'm the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I even have like a voice. Like, do you have like a work voice?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like high pitched.
Like when I'm talking with candidates or I'm talking with anyone else, I'm like, hey, like, how are you? Oh my gosh, you know? And it's not that it's like I'm fake, but you play a corporate role. You play I'm happy to help. I'm blah 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 blah.
Yeah, like will do.
Yeah. Well, understood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I feel like that in and of itself can drain my energy because I'm just having to be this like yes man all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that sometimes you can't help that. I mean that's just what you do for a job. But it can also come from the people in your life, like a relationship or friends,
or family, or I mean literally anything. It's just feeling like even if you're just sitting at home and there's nothing actually happening, you're still worrying, you're still stressing about something. Or even if I told Kaylee, I'm like, I am sitting here and I have this pit in my stomach. And it's even just sitting there and you could be reading or something and you just feel anxious. And that's what I've been. And I've been in this state for probably like over a year now, like 2 years, I don't know. And it's like chronic. And it's affecting health. I swear to God, my hair is falling out.
Because your body's way of reacting to the
yes.
That are happening.
And I feel exhausted all the time. I don't have energy to do the thing. Like I look back what I was doing in college or even high school. And to be fair, you're younger and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I don't have the capacity to do any of that anymore. Like I do one thing, I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like you shouldn't be like that. But anyways, that was kind of my last drainers. And like I said, we can go on a whole other rant and have another episode on that. But
well, your other drainer was holding on to the past, so don't hold on to past Emily.
I know. I want to do an episode on that, like how to recognize when a relationship, whether it's a friend, family, whoever, is draining you. Because I feel like a lot of times, like at least for me, I couldn't tell for a while. And like I had to look at videos. I'm like, why is my energy so drained? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, look at your relationships, like the company you keep, like your friends. Like, do you feel like they're, and I feel like I do this with you. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm emotionally like unloading on you. Like, are we okay? Are we good? I feel
like you are on all the time because you're always having to like pay attention to everyone else's moves.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it might not necessarily be the people in your life that are causing that, but I feel like you are on all the time.
Yeah, I feel on all the time. I feel like I'm never, unless I'm sleeping. Like and even if it's like on Saturdays where I'm sitting there doing nothing, I feel bad that I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I feel stressed about that.
Too. I got over it. How did I get over that? I used to be anxious when I wasn't doing anything because I felt like I was missing out, or I had, it was like the image of it, you know, like it might feel okay to be doing nothing, but it's like, what does that look like to other people? Like I spend my day doing nothing. Like I want everything to be this like.
I feel like I got better with it though when I got a dog.
Oh, that just happened.
I know, but that's why I mean, I've been alone a lot more, and I feel like I've been okay. I mean, I still like it's like more the weekend type stuff where. Like, I have a whole weekend. Like, I could go and do this. Like, it's not even necessarily hanging out with people, but I'm like, I could have cleaned my room. I could have done this. I could have done this. Like,
no, yeah, it doesn't have to be with people. Well, mine was like, I wanted to fill it with like social events.
I was like that in college.
Yeah, that's
a lot in college.
But I mean, even now, like, I'm okay if I just sit and like watch TV. But like, what worked for me was just focusing on like things that I enjoy and things that I can do by myself. And
I mean, I feel like it's an adjustment too.
Yeah. But that just trickled into like actually just wanting, like just being okay with being alone and being okay with doing my own thing. And I found things I liked, and I found that it's okay to like, for example, creative projects on my end, but it's also okay to like just sitting there watching like YouTube. You know what I mean? Like something I like to do.
Yeah. I agree.
So I don't know.
That's an energy giver.
Cody Co is an energy giver.
There you go. And that's a perfect transition.
Yeah. So we will go into the energy givers now. We'll try to wrap this up so it's not too long of an episode for you guys. But the first one that I put is showers. And that sounds stupid, but I put that because honestly, like there is nothing that hits more than like a midday shower. Like if I'm working and I'm on my lunch break and I'm dead, my go-to is a shower. And it hits better than coffee.
You just feel clean. You just feel
clean. It's like the warm water on you. It wakes you up. Like showers for me are an instant.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
I love them.
I think it's because whenever I'm showering, like I will just shower, do whatever, get out. But then there's times where I'm like really, really emotionally like sad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A shower, just sitting in the shower.
Sitting in the shower is an amazing feeling.
And for some odd reason, up until like 2 years ago, I never knew you could sit in the shower.
I didn't.
Like you always just stood and showered.
I don't know when I discovered that. Truthfully, I think I discovered that in college from being like hungover and like not being able to stand. I think that was my first experience of sitting in a shower, which is disgusting. Nice. I was in college, so it's probably like kind of gross. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know when I started doing it like now, like in my adult life, but it hits.
I just didn't even think about it until probably a couple years ago when someone was like, I would go to the shower, and I was like,
wait, what? That's such a vulnerable thing to say. Like nobody will admit that they do this.
Yeah, I was like, what you mean?
There's people that just don't get it and are like, you're weird for that, and there's people that do it and just like don't admit that.
Yeah, no, it's like, and I'm like, you mean a bath? A bath?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, just sit in the shower. I'm like, so just take a bath. And they're like, no, just go sit in the shower. So I sat in the shower and I was like, this is weird. But then I was like so emotionally upset one night, and so I sat in the shower and I'm like, this is kind of nice. I'm like, there's times where I literally would just cry in the shower. And I'm like, oh, not that it's weird, sorry. But I will sit and cry in the shower. And then like after I'm like, the water feels so good. And then I get out and I'm like, I still may be sad, but I'm like.
I feel like for me, I started when I was like, I feel like I just like sat so I could shave. Like I feel like I got tired and like didn't want to like my leg up. And so I just like sat. And then from there I was like, wait. This is nice to take a second.
Why didn't we even ever think about that?
I don't know. Because I am somebody that is not a get in the shower, do I need to do, get out. I am someone that goes in the shower to be warm, to like, it just helps me mentally. So like, I will sit there for a second. Like I used to like just like stand. Because it's warm and it feels good and whatever. And then I was like, what the fuck am I just standing here when I can sit?
See, I think for the longest time I was in and out because my parents drilled in me that we were not hanging out in the shower for like 20 minutes. I've
always been a long shower taker.
See, I got yelled at for that because like there was 3 of us. Or 3 kids, but like 5 of us.
Shower, I'm curious.
I don't.
Like, what do you classify?
I feel like my average shower, if I'm like just showering my hair, blah, 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 is like 5-10 minutes. Maybe like 10 minutes. But if I'm playing some music and I'm just showering, maybe 15. Maybe.
That's your longest shower?
But if I'm sitting there like upset, I think that maybe I feel morally wrong that I'm wasting water and like I'm going to kill the planet.
When you're upset?
Normally. Maybe I didn't even think about it because like I feel like when I'm happy and I'm fine, I'm like in and out, like blah, blah, blah. Maybe like that's what I need to do. It's just like sit and like enjoy the moment.
That's
so like
I'm not sad. I'm just sitting there because I'm like, I don't want to get out and be in life yet. There's something about a shower too that's like is the perfect escape. Yeah. Like my phone can go off, I won't see it. No one can talk to me because I'm in the shower. No one can barge in there. I'm in the shower.
I mean, they could.
I
mean, at least when I was at my parents' house, we never locked the door because everyone had to get in the bathroom.
Barging in your showers at your house.
Well, we had a curtain, okay, but my sister would be like, "I need my toothbrush." My brother would be like, "I need whatever." So literally, none of our doors were ever locked. And I slept with my door open. To be fair, my parents were like, "You need to sleep with the door open." And my phone had to be downstairs on the charger, but
okay.
Anyways.
Okay, going into the other ones. Another one that I had is curating a space. For me, this is so important. It is for everyone, whether you think it is or not. Like the way you decorate your place, the way that you have things in different places. Like for me, lighting matters, scents matter, the look of
I agree.
things matter. Like the biggest one though for me is temperature of the room. I know this sounds crazy, but like
I hope you zoom in on what I just did. I said it's temperature of the room.
yes, like it's about curating a space, and like I am not going to feel like comfortable and good if it's not like a cold room. For
Mm,
me, it has to be a cold room.
I get that.
Something about it.
I feel
Something about it wakes you up too. Like
see, but my room is always cold, and I'm like, oh.
I love a cold room.
I
do you
love
think
it.
it's cold in
Right now it's like fine.
here? Okay.
I'm fine. But at night, great if it's cold. But like my room is just cold. I don't know why, but it does not heat very well. And it's like cold all day long. And then that, like part of like where I'm like walking around with a blanket on. And I'm like, I just want to be able to like
Yeah.
be at homeostasis. And now I'm like da 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 da.
Yeah.
So anyways. So a couple of my energy givers were finding hobbies. So basically, well, actually,
Wait, I love the list. What the fuck do you have balloons on hobbies?
okay. So I have two.
Notes like show notes and
I'm gonna screenshot this.
put your feet
So-
in the dirt. What is this?
I just screenshotted this so you can put it up on the screen so people to see. So a couple of my energy givers, like I have very simply is good friends. Like I went into the energy drainers, whereas like relationships can drain you. So that's given right now. And we can have an episode on that. To find, how to find good friends, things like that. But I also have solo recharge time. And then the last two are kind of funny. And I said, put your feet in dirt.
What does
Like-
that mean?
Have you ever just known someone to be like, you need to go and spend some time in nature? Go put your toes in some dirt.
No.
My mother tells me all the time.
Okay.
Okay. There's just something about being, like you mentioned earlier, being in sunshine and being in nature. To be fair, it's like 20 degrees out and like I don't want to put my toes in no dirt. My toes would freeze. But anyways, it just means like go and take a second away from just technology and be
Okay.
able to be like, I want to put my toesies in the dirt and hug a tree
Hug a tree.
and hug a tree.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just taking a step away from everything, the busyness of life and going back to the roots. See what I did there? The roots and the simplicities of nature and sitting in the sun. And I say this all the time to everybody. I need heat, like external sources of heat. I don't produce my own heat. Okay.
We're the opposite. I just said I want the cold.
I know. But I have this feeling, and it is the best feeling in the world. It is one of the things that I crave in the winter. It's right when you feel cold, and then you go and you walk in the sun, and you're warm in the sun. I literally feel like a lizard on a rock sunning itself. That is one of the best feelings in the whole world. It's just like being cold and then sitting in the sun, and I'm just like. Like if I had a rock in the sun, I'd be fine. I'd be fine. I'm just a simple gal. I just need the rock in the sun.
Just a rock.
But anyways, and then my last thing was finding hobbies that do give you joy. And Kaylee was saying that there's some good things like hobbies can give you energy, but also take it away. So take it with a grain of salt. But my list was like little things you like. I said like cake and balloons, art, coffee, plants, and books.
That's not a hobby. Balloons is not a hobby.
Okay. I started going hobbies and then I started do things you like. So I was like, eat a piece of cake.
That's
Or
not
like-
a hobby.
I meant like things you like. Okay. Like indulge yourself a little bit. And
Want eating cake, eat some cake.
if you like balloons, get balloons. I don't know why I said that, okay? But I literally said balloons. Like I think for me, like balloons remind me of birthdays and it's like fun. It makes you like feel a little excited and happy. Like not that I would like walk to your apartment and be like, here, I got you a balloon. You'd be like, what the fuck? But
Okay, honestly though, like if you're needing energy and you ever go buy yourself balloons, if you ever take your own advice and buy yourself balloons,
I should have said flowers. That's more.
I need photo proof that you did that.
I think it was because when we were here, I saw the balloon in Allie's room. And I was like, balloon.
You're like delirious.
I was like, balloon.
Delirious writing notes. And you're like, hobby is balloons.
Balloons. Anyways.
But yeah.
And that's self-explanatory. Yeah. And it's harder said than done because it's hard getting yourself out of like that rut and finding new things and yada, yada, yada. Because that could be stress for you in itself, getting yourself out there. And that's can be definitely draining. But I think it's just being able to find little things that give you joy and give you energy. And that's as simple as that.
Yeah. My last one was music. I feel like when I need to focus on something, when I need to, because music is such a mood changer. Like whatever mood you want to be in,
Mm-hmm.
like if you want to be like amped up, like music can do that for you.
I agree.
You know, like, I don't know.
I just listen to sad music all the time.
I do too, and I love sad music. And like honestly, just music in general, like I feel better because like something about it, I just feel more energized in general, just listening to music or like putting on headphones and like just blasting music and like
Yeah.
that just gives me energy. I don't even know, but music can change your mood depending on what type of music you're listening to. So
I agree. And people I make fun of me all the time. They're like, all you do is listen to sad music. And to be fair, it's not like sad music where it's like, I was broken up with and I hate the world. It's more like melancholy music. Like I'll listen to like I'll actually catch myself listening to classical music in the car too. Like, and it doesn't have, I mean, to be fair, it's not like, you know? Sorry, people probably think I just spazzed.
I don't know what you're trying to explain.
Like, I'm thinking like classical music where it's like, I don't know, like a violin being like,
yeah, it's like slow.
It's kind of slower. It's just like peaceful.
Yeah.
But I like more like the melancholy, peaceful music.
Okay, well, you're sitting here explaining it to me, and like I'm the same way.
But people might say, I brought it up because people think like, well, if you're sad all the time and you listen to sad music, like you're just going to be sad all the time. Like you're not helping it.
True. No, I used to definitely probably be, well, not actually judge, but people would be like, you only listen to sad music. And like, it is kind of like people judge it. But I don't necessarily, I mean, yes, if I am sad, if I'm in a mood and I listen to sad music, it will make me sadder. And sometimes that's what I need. But other times I listen to sad music because I appreciate the meaning behind it. I appreciate
That's how I am.
the sound of it. Like I keep like putting up my middle finger. I just did it again. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Is that how you really feel?
I'm like mad at you or something. It can definitely make me more sad, and sometimes that's what I need. But other times, I just appreciate the voice. Like I love acoustic music, which can sometimes be more sad because you can really hear the artist's voice. You can hear the music. You can appreciate the lyrics.
I feel like there's a lot more emotion in that type of music. Like, and I'm not saying that like other types of music don't have emotion, but I feel like they have more emphasis on it. And a lot of the times, sadness and melancholy, whatever, is just a feeling that a lot of people identify with. So singers write about it. Singers sing about it. So
yeah, because you can relate, even if you aren't going through something, you can relate to something in your past, or I don't know. It's not necessarily like, and it doesn't have to be sad lyrics. It can just be like a slower paced song.
Yeah,
I just appreciate it.
I mean, that's just us. I mean, other people like prefer Megan Thee Stallion or
Nicki
Minaj. Wait, was it Nicki Minaj? I hope you guys get that reference because you looked at me like you didn't. Never mind. The real ones will understand what that reference was.
Honestly, my real music taste though is like folk indie.
That's how mine is. That's why we also get along.
Yeah.
Because I was in the car and I'm like,
I was
want to listen to sad music? And you're like, yes.
I was listening to a Noah song at work and I cried at work.
Are you okay?
It was that you're gonna go far.
Stop. I haven't listened to it.
You wanna know why I cried?
Why?
I cried because I was like, the song reminds me, this is what it's about, but it's like someone like going out of town, like leaving people behind. And there's a lyric that's like we're not angry at you. And I was crying, so I was like, my goal in life is not in life, but like my goal at some point is to like move.
Yeah.
And like I don't know why, like I wasn't even thinking about this, but I was like, my family would be like so mad at me if I left. Like they've always said like they don't want me to. Like they'd be fine, but like my dad has always been like, don't move.
I mean, that's how my family is.
And like them saying like, we're not angry. I was appreciating my family saying, I don't know. It just made me cry at work. I don't know what's happening. And then I finally listened to the lyrics of like No Complaints, and like that also made me cry.
Yeah.
Because the lyrics, I was like,
Noah
I really-
Cyrus's songs make me do that.
I love those.
All of her
But I-
songs, I'm like,
Yeah.
because like I identify with every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what's the, actually, I forgot the name of it. But it's literally, and this is off topic, but it's literally about like how you're like laying with somebody and then the opposite side of the bed, but like you feel like alone.
It's literally like,
And I'm like,
it's called like Wrong Side.
that's right, wrong side of the bed. And I'm like, how, like, I can't even fathom putting what I feel into words. I mean, that's why I suck at talking about them most of the time. But she articulates every single one of my feelings perfectly. And
It's called
It
My
wa-
Side of the Bed.
oh, yeah. So something like that. But
That album, I love that album.
she does,
I
she's
was
such,
happy we went to that.
yeah.
Anyways, you guys,
I was when at that concert, I literally was just staring at her. I'm like, you're real. I'm like, ow. Anyways,
well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We plan to have another one the following Thursday to make up for the week we took off. So you can come back next week and see another video.
we're making up for it. That's what
Making up
counts.
for it. So make sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to leave us a rating and review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram, both of us individually. We also have a Picture Perfect Instagram as well. And I think that's about it.
Go follow me.
Yeah.
I did the little. Anyways, we hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys took some tips and tricks, whatever it is from us, or if you just wanted to listen and have a great time. I hope you had a great time. But we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.